I don't know how this'll go. I promise that I love you so. And I promise I mean every word. I'll paint the world that you deserve. All it takes is 24 hours. Sign the check and the place is ours. It's a little soon, but I wanna come home to you. All it takes is 24 hours. We could dance, you could throw the flowers. It's a little soon, but I wanna come home to you.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nathan. Today we have a tutorial for this song from Shawn Mendes' brand new album, Wonder. I'm assuming it's an amazing song, but I haven't actually heard it yet because I'm pre-filming these intros so I can get as many tutorials out from the new album as soon as possible for you guys. But two things before we start the video. First, you guys are clearly Shawn Mendes fans, so you should subscribe down below. I've got tons of covers and tutorials for Shawn Mendes stuff, and I'm hoping to come out with a ton of new tutorials from the new album, so subscribe down below to get notified about that. Second, if you like this video and it helps you learn the song, please feel free to give it a like. That really just shows the YouTube algorithm that you like seeing these kinds of videos and really helps out the channel. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Here we go. Alright, as you guys saw in the intro, I'm going to be teaching you guys the chords and 3 different picking patterns that you can use mainly for the chorus. And since this is a piano song, it does give us a little bit of freedom of interpretation. So I picked 3 pretty simple picking patterns that I thought would fit the vibe of the song pretty well. So you can pick from those 3. So let's get into the chords. Alright, to start off, we're going to put our capo on the 5th fret here, and we're going to be using chords in the key of C major. Starting off with the C major chord, we've got a ring finger on the 3rd fret of the A, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D, pointer finger on the 1st fret of the B. And this pointer finger on the 1st fret of the B is really important because it stays the same pretty much the entire time, and it's really good to anchor and help you transition smoothly between the chords, so make sure to keep your pointer finger there. From here, we're going to move to a G over B suspended, which is going to be our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the A, and our pointer finger on the 1st fret of the B. Next is an A minor 7, which is going to be an open A, then your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D, and pointer finger on the 1st fret of the B. Next is just going to be a normal G suspended, which is going to be our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the low E, and we're going to mute the A string, and then we're going to have a pointer finger on the 1st fret of the B. Next, we're going to move to this partial F because we're only playing 4 of the strings. We don't need to do the whole thing. And we're going to bring our thumb over the top on the low E string to the 1st fret to make an F. Then our ring finger is going to be on the 3rd fret of the D, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G, and pointer finger on the 1st fret of the B. Alright, we're going to be using the same chord progression throughout the entire song. And it's going to kind of have a walk down bass line and then back up a little bit. We're going to start on our C major chord, and we're going to pluck the middle 4 strings down to our G over B, to our A minor 7, and now we're going to go to our G suspended, and we're going to take our thumb, we're striking the middle 4 strings, we'll take our thumb from the A string and then put it down on the low E. Then the same thing down to the F. And then we're going to go to our A minor 7 again, but instead of striking the middle 4 strings, we're going to keep our thumb down on the low E, and then come back to the F, and then go to the G suspended. So if you can hear, you go to the C, B, A, G, F, E, F, G. So it walks down and then back up a little bit. So you can hear that throughout the chorus as the bass line is going to move down, and that's the main piano part that you hear throughout the entire song. You can hear this chord progression in the chorus.
All it takes 24 hours. Sign the check and the place is ours.
Then in the verses,
I don't know, how does it go? I promise that I love you so.
And then in the pre-chorus sounding thing,
and I promise I mean every word. I'll paint the world that you deserve.
And now I'll teach you guys the 3 main picking patterns that I thought would fit really well with this song. Here we go. The first picking pattern is probably the simplest of the 3, but it does sound really cool. Your thumb is going to be on the low A string or the low E string. It's going to be playing the root of the chord, wherever that is, depending on the chord progression. And then your pointer, your middle, and your ring are going to be on the 3 middle strings, which is going to be the D, the G, and the B strings. So you're going to start on the C. You're going to strike with your thumb, then your pointer, then your ring and your middle, and then your pointer again. So it's going to sound like this. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. So then with the walk down chords, it's going to be
all it takes is 24 hours. Sign the check and the place is ours. It's a little soon, but I wanna come home to you.
And that can be used in the chorus, kind of in the pre-chorus, and the whole outro type of thing. And it does sound really cool, and just kind of slows it down and brings it back with a little chill vibe at the end. Now let's move on to the second one. The second picking pattern is a little bit more upbeat and helps to drive the tempo in the song, and it's called Travis picking, and it sounds really, really cool in this context. It sounds like this.
All it takes is 24 hours. Sign the check and the place is ours.
So your thumb is going to be moving back and forth between the root, which is either going to be the A or the low E, and the D string. So either from the A to the D, back and forth, or the low E and the D, back and forth. So on a C chord, it'll be on the A, and then our pointer and our middle finger will be on the B and the G strings. So we're going to start off, we're going to pluck with our thumb, then we're going to move our thumb up to the D, and then we're going to pluck the D and then our middle finger on the B, then our thumb back down to the A, pointer on the G, thumb on the D, and then middle on the B. So altogether it's going to sound like this with straight eighth notes. And then slowly within the context of the chorus, so you can play along with it, it'll sound like this.
All it takes is 24 hours. Sign the check and the place is ours. It's a little soon, but I wanna come home with you.
Alright, this picking pattern is probably the hardest of the three, but I personally think that it fits the vibe of the song the best, and it just sounds really cool once you get the hang of it. It's going to sound like this in context.
All it takes is 24 hours. Sign the check and the place is ours.
We're going to start off with our thumb playing the root of the chord, which is either going to be the low A or the low E, depending on the chord. And then our pointer and middle finger are going to stay on the same strings, the G string for your pointer and the B string for your middle. So to start off, you're going to play with your thumb and your middle at the same time, then thumb again, then pointer, then thumb, then middle, then thumb, and then pointer, and then straight back into it. And it's very complicated to comprehend when it's slow like that, but if you hear it all together, your thumb's going to be playing the same downbeat all the way through, and then your pointer and middle just fit in throughout. So slow, it's going to sound like this. And I encourage you guys, go back and watch through that again. As I'm playing it slowly, try to play along and make sure that you're getting those offbeat notes, because once you get the hang of it and once you lock it in, it sounds super cool. So now with the chord progression slow, if you want to play along, it'll sound like this.
All it takes is 24 hours. Sign the check and the place is ours. It's a little soon, but I wanna come home to you.
So now you guys should be able to play the entire song and choose whichever picking pattern you thought sounded best. So, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this tutorial was helpful. If it was, please feel free to give this video a like. I'd really appreciate that. Comment down below what your favorite song from the brand new album is. I haven't actually heard it yet, but I'm really looking forward to hearing Teach Me How to Love. So let me know down below. And if you want to check out my Amazon links in the description for my filming gear and my guitar gear, it's really high quality stuff, and if you do end up buying it, it gives a little kickback and helps support the channel. You can find my original music in a playlist in that top right corner. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you later.